And here's a story that's grabbing international headlines till date. That's a spectacular heist that took place in broad daylight on the weekend at the Louvre Museum. This forced the closure of the Louvre, the world's most visited museum and also one of the most popular ones that's also home to the Mona Lisa. 8 items of jewelry had been stolen from the Apollo Gallery, including the emerald and diamond necklace that Napoleon gifted his wife, Empress Mary Louise, and the 19th century crown of Empress Eugenie. In fact, CNN News 18's Sanjay Suri breaks it down for you in our next report.
Just how smart this Louvre heist was, we'll know, Akanksha, if the chaps who did it can get away with it. And there are signs and there are claims that they may not, because investigations are said to be making quite quick and quite steady progress. Paris prosecutor Laure Becot has said that the 4 men have been identified, and that would be a big first step. A helmet and glove they left behind has shown up DNA traces, and these were examined at a specialist lab in Lyon. And the police are also looking at surveillance footage to try and see where the scooters went, to try and now trace those 2 scooters on which these men scooted off, so to speak. And they left, of course, with more than $100 million worth of historic jewelry dating back to the days of Napoleon. And it could have been worse, except that in that hurry, they dropped a near priceless tiara along the way that was found damaged but found. France really is still in shock, and the operation seemed almost as simple, really, as it was daring. These chaps simply dressed up as construction workers, and 2 of them put up a ladder to the 2nd floor, and they didn't attract attention given their gear. Then they entered, they smashed a couple of glass panes in the Galerie d'Apollon. There they grabbed the jewelry and then they were gone. They went down a service lift and then across to the waiting scooters, and by the time the staff responded to the alarms, these chaps were gone. The robbers were inside the museum less than 4 minutes, and that really is all it took. Now, the critical first point in the investigation is whether the men who are said to have been identified can be traced, because there is a fear they may already have left France, and of course that will make the job more difficult. Then, when and whether the scooters can be found, there's a lot that they may say. Interpol has been alerted inevitably, and the last ring in the investigation will be to try and trace the jewelry, which almost certainly would have been dismantled. And if the robbers get away with it, their first attempt no doubt will be to try and get rid of it in parts here and there, and it is suspected they may try and do that in the Middle East. At the moment, really, it's a tight race for the investigations to get the men, to recover the jewelry, and to recover, not least, some of France's reputation.
And that's all I have for you in this edition of World 360. Thank you so much for watching. News and updates continue on CNN News 18.